Today, we are going to completely transform your phone-recorded audio so it sounds like it came straight from a professional studio microphone, followed by turning that cleaned content into viral short clips using an AI tool that will genuinely save you hours of tedious editing work. The simple truth is that audio quality is the single biggest deal breaker in modern video content. You might get away with slightly rough visuals, but absolutely no one will stick around if the sound they hear is truly grating or hard to understand. When you are just starting out on your content journey, the reality is that most of us only have the built-in microphone on our smartphone, and yes, initially it sounds decidedly mediocre or meh. However, by adopting just a few smart recording habits, applying some minimal post-production polish, and implementing the right efficient workflow, you can make your voiceovers and talking head recordings sound significantly more professional. And then let AI handle the heavy distribution lifting so you aren't stuck editing until midnight every single night. First, let's quickly run through 5 incredibly practical recording tips right now that will make any subsequent post-production work 10 times easier, because these simple adjustments are truly game-changing for your final result. If you happen to be using an iPhone, the built-in Voice Memos application is actually totally sufficient because the iPhone microphones themselves are already quite solid performers. For Android users, I personally recommend something like RecForge II, which I have relied upon for years because it grants you superior control over important settings like sample rates and file formats compared to most stock recorders. Ultimately, you want to aim to use an application that allows you to record in a lossless format, or at the very least a higher bitrate WAV or FLAC file if that option is available to you. This next point sounds incredibly obvious, but you must proactively choose the quietest possible time and location to record your voice for the best initial quality. If your schedule allows for it, try recording very early in the morning or late at night when there is significantly less external interference like construction noise, heavy traffic, or loud HVAC systems running in the background. The reality is that bothersome background noise is the absolute biggest headache you will face in audio editing, meaning less noise captured initially translates directly to drastically less cleanup work later on. Another crucial element is to actively avoid recording in large empty rooms that have bare walls, as these surfaces cause your recording to sound unnaturally echoey and hollow to the listener. A super cheap but surprisingly effective trick is to simply record underneath a thick blanket or inside a closet that is already packed full of soft clothing items. These soft surfaces work wonders by absorbing sound reflections, effectively giving you a much drier and significantly nicer overall tone for your voice track. You need to carefully mind the distance and orientation between your mouth and the phone's microphone, making sure to keep your mouth a few inches away, but definitely not glued right up against the device. If you get too close, you will capture heavy, distracting breaths and harsh, plosive sounds, but if you move too far back, you immediately lose the crucial presence and intimacy in your voice. Your goal is to find that perfect sweet spot where your voice sounds full and rich, without introducing any unwanted breathiness into the recording. Finally, you absolutely must strive to keep a very steady and consistent volume level throughout your entire recording session. Speaking with wildly inconsistent energy levels forces compression and normalization effects to do strange and often undesirable things to the audio later in the process. If you naturally tend to get quite loud when you get excited, try stepping back a little bit from the mic instead of shouting directly into it. All right, with the recording phase now successfully completed, let's shift our focus entirely to the post-production editing process, where I will walk you through an accessible free option, Audacity, and then a modern AI-enhanced shortcut so you can easily select what best fits your personal workflow. Audacity remains a fantastic choice because it is completely free, relatively lightweight on your computer, and serves as a great starting point for beginners learning the ropes of audio manipulation. Your very first step is to capture a clean noise profile by ensuring you leave a small section of pure silence right at the beginning of your recorded file before you start speaking. Once you have that silent snippet, navigate to the Effects menu, select Noise Reduction, and click the button to Get Noise Profile, which teaches the software what the background hiss sounds like. After profiling, select your entire audio track and then apply the noise reduction effect itself, noting that the default settings work surprisingly well for removing constant background hiss or low-frequency hum from most phone recordings. Next, we move to compression under the Effects menu to subtly reveal more texture in your voice, but be careful not to squash all the life out of your performance. You should slightly lower the threshold parameter, just enough to gently bring those quieter textual elements up so your voice consistently feels present and engaging throughout the track. Compression is essential because it effectively evens out the volume differences, helping all of your words sit much more consistently in the final audio mix. Now it is time to use the graphic EQ effect to enhance the bass and overall presence of your voice, which phone mics often struggle to capture adequately on their own. Gently boost the low mid-range frequencies, typically somewhere between 100 and 300 Hz, to inject desirable warmth and body back into your vocal recording. If you feel your voice needs a little more crispness or clarity, you can add a very small presence boost in the range of 2 to 4 kHz, but always remember that overdoing any EQ adjustment will make the audio sound obviously fake. The final step in this chain is to apply the Normalize effect under the Effects menu, targeting a peak level of around -1 dB for a healthy final output. This crucial step ensures your audio's loudest peak hits a sufficient level without ever actually clipping or distorting, resulting in a track that is loud enough for consumption without being damaging. After running through those steps, take a moment to listen back carefully and trim out any unnecessary dead space or long pauses that occurred during the recording session. Applying these 4 processing steps often manages to transform a thin, weak phone recording into something that sounds surprisingly full, clean, and commercially viable. While this process won't magically turn it into a pristine studio mic recording, for the vast majority of online platforms, this level of quality is more than absolutely good enough to keep viewers engaged. If you are someone who values speed above all else and needs something significantly faster than the manual Audacity process, modern AI enhancement tools can perform this entire cleanup and polish routine automatically with just a single click. A tool like Adobe Podcast Enhance feature simply requires you to upload your raw file, and then its powerful algorithms handle the noise reduction, EQ adjustments, and other advanced restoration processes on their own. The resulting audio quality from these one-click solutions is often genuinely impressive and incredibly fast, allowing you to move on to the next task almost immediately. However, there are definite downsides to relying solely on this black box processing, mainly revolving around potential file size or length limitations imposed by the service provider. Furthermore, since these services are primarily focused only on audio enhancement and restoration, they do not typically offer features for clipping or preparing content specifically for social media publishing. Here is the absolute key point to remember. Having cleaned and professional-sounding audio makes every single downstream step in your creation process significantly better and more effective. This naturally brings us to the exciting next major step, efficiently turning your now clean long-form video content into those highly attention-grabbing short-form clips that perform so well on social feeds. That is precisely the area where a dedicated tool like Vizard becomes not just useful, but an incredibly powerful asset that saves you massive amounts of time. If you are currently creating longer pieces of content, like in-depth interviews, detailed tutorials, or multi-hour live streams, the thought of manually chopping them down into perfect 30 to 60-second shareable clips sounds like an absolute nightmare. Vizard is specifically designed to automatically scan your entire long video, intelligently find those most interesting and highly shareable moments, and then generate ready-to-post clips formatted perfectly for Reels, Shorts, and TikTok all at once. This system is much more sophisticated than simple clipping because the AI actively spots moments of high engagement, sudden emphasis shifts, or even laughter spikes, packaging them immediately for social distribution. One of the 3 practical things I personally love about Vizard is its ability to automatically edit viral clips by scanning for those engaging cues, meaning you are no longer just guessing which segments will perform best. The second major feature that saves me hours every week is the auto-schedule function, where you can simply set a desired posting frequency, and Vizard queues up and posts those new clips automatically across your platforms. This ability to maintain consistent output without constantly living inside your social media scheduler is truly a massive time saver for any busy creator. Lastly, the integrated content calendar and management hub allows you to preview every generated clip, easily tweak titles and captions, and then publish everything across multiple platforms directly from that single centralized location. This eliminates the headache of juggling an unnecessary dozen different apps just to manage your distribution schedule for the week. When you compare this integrated approach to other tools currently available, you'll find that many platforms only specialize in one single task, either audio enhancement or simple manual clip export, often at an incredibly high subscription cost. For example, while Adobe's dedicated audio tools are undeniably excellent at cleanup, they do not offer the integrated AI ability to auto-select clips or manage the scheduling of those final pieces. Traditional non-linear editors like Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro give you the highest degree of granular precision, but they demand a significant investment of your valuable time and a higher level of technical editing skill. Vizard successfully sits in that perfect sweet spot for modern creators who demand both high content quality and the ability to scale their output without immediately needing to hire a full-time editor. So here is the smooth, recommended workflow I want you to adopt. Step 1 is to carefully record your initial footage using your phone, making absolutely sure you apply those 5 essential tips we discussed earlier regarding your app choice, timing, reflections, distance, and volume consistency. For Step 2, you should aim for a quick cleanup phase where you can either utilize Audacity for a free and controlled workflow involving noise reduction, compression, EQ, and normalization, or if time is critically short, run a one-click AI enhancer like Adobe Podcast to achieve instant polish. Step 3 involves combining your now clean audio with the video file if necessary, and then uploading that complete improved long-form video directly into the Vizard platform for processing. In Step 4, you will review all the automatically detected clips within Vizard's content calendar, take a moment to tweak any suggested titles or captions, and then confidently set your desired auto schedule. The final part of the automation means the AI will then queue up and manage the posting process across all your selected social platforms automatically without any further input from you. To help you get the absolute best results from this system, here are a few final practical tips specifically focused on maximizing your success when using Vizard. First and foremost, please understand that cleaner audio directly improves the effectiveness of Vizard's clip selection, as its detection algorithms perform significantly better when speech is prominent and clearly distinguishable from background noise, so never skip that initial cleanup step. It is also highly beneficial to keep all of your raw source footage meticulously organized by consistently labeling your uploads with relevant timestamps or descriptive topic tags. Proper labeling allows the AI to better group similar moments together, making it much easier for you to efficiently locate specific content later on when you need to repurpose it again. Finally, remember not to over-automate your final product. The clips Vizard creates are phenomenal starting points, but you should always spend just 1 minute editing the opening hook or adding a particularly punchy caption, because that tiny bit of human refinement makes a surprisingly big difference in performance. In conclusion, making your ordinary phone audio sound professional is not some form of unattainable magic. It is the direct result of combining strong recording habits, smart post-production cleanup, and the implementation of the absolute right set of time-saving tools. Audacity gives you precise, free control. AI enhancers like Adobe Podcast provide incredibly fast instant polish, and Vizard takes your improved long-form content and scales it into highly shareable short clips effortlessly. When used together, this streamlined approach allows you to spend vastly more time actually creating great content rather than grinding away through repetitive manual editing tasks. I'm happy to walk you through a complete step-by-step example right now if you'd like, demonstrating the exact Audacity settings I personally use, uploading the cleaned video to Vizard, and fully demoing the auto clip and scheduling process from start to finish. I promise to deliver absolutely no fluff in that follow-up demonstration, just a quick, highly practical workflow that you can immediately copy and paste into your own routine. If that sounds good to you, let me know, and I will see you in the next detailed tutorial video to show you exactly how it is done.